post in the group. So,
Yeah, that will help, Prabhuji.
yeah, so people get the right pronunciation. I think few times when you listen, you will understand. Okay, so let me share my screen here. One second. There is this thing. I'm actually using somebody else's. Sorry, once again. Okay, it is here. You can share now. So anybody remembers where? Okay, I think we can read from here. We read this. Okay, I think here, because I don't have my laptop. After taking sannyas, the Lord made his headquarters at Jagannath Puri due to the request of his mother, Srimati Sachi Devi. The Lord remained for 24 years at Puri. For 16 years of this time, he traveled continuously all over India and especially throughout southern India, preaching the Srimad Bhagavatam. Lord Chaitanya not only preached the Srimad Bhagavatam but propagated the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita as well in the most practical way. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Sri Krishna is depicted as the absolute personality of Godhead, and his last teachings in that great book of transcendental knowledge instruct that one should give up all the modes of religious activities and accept him, Lord Sri Krishna, as the only worshipable Lord. The Lord then assured that all his devotees would be protected from all sorts of sinful acts, and that for them there would be no cause for anxieties. Okay, now different devotees can take the turns. I'll just call out the names. Who wants to go next?
I can go, Prabhu.
Yeah, Mother's read just one small paragraph.
Unfortunately, despite Lord Sri Krishna's direct order and teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, less intelligent people misunderstand him to be nothing but a great historical personality, and thus they cannot accept him as the original personality of Godhead. Such men with a poor fund of knowledge are misled by many non devotees. Thus, the teachings of Bhagavad Gita were misinterpreted even by great scholars. After the disappearance of the Lord Sri Krishna, there were hundreds of commentaries on the Bhagavad Gita by many erudite scholars, and almost every one of them was motivated by self interest.
Okay, next.
I can go, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the self-named Lord Sri Krishna. This time, however, he appeared as a great devotee of the Lord in order to preach to the people in general, as well as to the religious and philosophers, and about the transcendental position of Sri Krishna, the primeval Lord and the cause of all causes. The essence of his preaching is that Lord Sri Krishna, who appeared at Vraja Bhumi Vrindavan as the son of the king of Vraja, Nanda Maharaj, is the supreme personality of Godhead and is therefore worshipable by all. Vrindavan Dhama is not different from the Lord because the name, fame, form, and place where the Lord manifests himself are identical with the Lord as the absolute knowledge. Therefore, Vrindavan Dhama is as worshipable as the Lord. The highest form of transcendental worship of the Lord was exhibited by the damsels of Vrajbhumi in the form of pure affection for the Lord, and Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommends this process as the most excellent mode of worship. He accepts the Srimad Bhagavata Purana as a spotless literature for understanding the Lord, and he preaches that the ultimate goal of life for all human beings is to attain the stage of prema or love of God.
Okay, sorry. So I think we already read all this. I'm just realizing now.
Yeah, we read it all, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, I realize now we have to go down. So, yesterday what we are reading, Lord's appearance, distinct mission to preach. Lord advented. Falguni Purnima, we read this one. All English.
Prabhuji, the Tarak Brahmanam was the last chapter we did, the last paragraph we did.
Yeah, that is what I'm just trying to see that. In this one, when the Lord was in the lap of mother, I think we have to read from here, right?
When the Lord was on the lap of his mother, he would at once stop crying as soon as the ladies surrounding him chanted the holy names and clapped their hands. This peculiar incident was observed by the neighbors with awe and veneration. Sometimes the young girls took pleasure in making the Lord cry and then stopping him by chanting the holy name. So, from his very childhood, the Lord began to preach the importance of the holy name. In his early age, Lord Sri Chaitanya was known as Nimai. This name was given by his beloved mother because the Lord took his birth beneath a nimba tree in the courtyard of his parental house.
Okay, thank you. So this is the story that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he would cry as soon as they'll stop chanting. Yes. Next, somebody can read now.
Hare Krishna. When the Lord was offered solid food at the age of 6 months in the Annaprasanna ceremony, the Lord indicated his future activities. At this time, it was customary to offer the child both coins and books in order to get some indication of the future tendencies of the child. The Lord was offered on one side coins and on the other side the Srimad Bhagavatam. The Lord accepted the Bhagavatam instead of the coins.
Okay. So this is another bus time. Annaprasanna happens like first solid food, solid food ceremony like Annaprasanna. So then there is a tradition that they put all kinds of money and gold and all of that versus the Bhagavatam. So Lord accepted that Bhagavatam. Okay, next.
I can go next, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
When he was a mere baby crawling in the yard, one day a snake appeared before him, and the Lord began to play with it. All the members of the house were struck with fear and awe, but after a little while the snake went away, and the baby was taken away by his mother. Once he was stolen by a thief who intended to steal his ornaments, but the Lord took a pleasure trip on the shoulder of the bewildered thief who was searching for a solitary place in order to rob the baby. It so happened that the thief, wandering hither and thither, finally arrived just before the house of Jagannath Mishra, and being afraid of being caught, dropped the baby at once. Of course, the anxious parents and relatives were glad to see the lost child.
Okay, so this is like a brief, briefly Prabhupada is explaining all these pastimes that how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a small baby, he used to, as soon as all these ladies will stop chanting, he'll start crying. And then this Annaprasana ceremony happened. And then one time he was attempted to kidnapped by like these thieves, they stole. And then the snake came and then Lord was playing with it and all this kind of pastimes he is doing. Okay, there's another beautiful pastime. Next, somebody can read.
I can go ahead. Prabhuji. Once a pilgrim Brahman was received at the house of Jagannath Mishra. When he was offering food to the Godhead, the Lord appeared before him and partook the prepared food. The eatables had to be rejected because the child touched them. So the Brahmana had to make another preparation. The next time the same thing happened, and when this happened repeatedly for the third time, the baby was finally put to bed. At about 12 at night, when all the members of the house were fast asleep within their closed rooms, the pilgrim Brahman offered his specially prepared foods to the deity. And in the same way, the baby Lord appeared before the pilgrim and spoiled his offering. The Brahman then began to cry, but since everyone was fast asleep, no one could hear him. At that time, the baby Lord appeared before the fortunate Brahmana and disclosed his identity as Krishna himself. The Brahmana was forbidden to disclose this incident, and the baby returned to the lap of his mother.
Beautiful pastime that, yeah, this Brahmana was so fortunate. He was offering, and every time this baby, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as a baby, he was coming and, eating. And this Brahmana was thinking that, every time my offering has been spoiled because the child is coming and eating in between the offering. Finally, in the night, the Lord gave the darshan. Every time here you're offering me, calling me, inviting me, Lord, please have this. And I'm coming and eating, and then you're crying, what is this? And then finally Lord gave him the darshan that I am the same person whom you're calling Krishna. I am the same Krishna. Yeah. Okay. Next.
Hare Krishna. There are many similar incidents in his childhood. As a naughty boy, he sometimes used to tease the orthodox Brahmanas who used to bathe in the Ganges. When the Brahmanas complained to his father that he was splashing them with water instead of attending school, the Lord suddenly appeared before his father as though just coming from school with all his school clothes and books. After bathing in the ghata, he also used to play jokes on the neighboring girls who engaged in worshipping Shiva in hopes of getting good husbands. This is a common practice amongst unmarried girls in Hindu families. While they were engaged in such worship, the Lord naughtily appeared before them and said, "My dear sisters, please give me all the offerings you have just brought for Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is my devotee and Parvati is my maidservant. If you worship me, then Lord Shiva and all the other demigods will be more satisfied." Some of them refused to obey the naughty Lord, and he would curse them that due to their refusal, they would be married to old men who had 7 children by their previous wife. Out of fear and sometimes out of love, the girls would also offer him various goods, and then the Lord would bless them and assure them that they would have very good husbands and that they would be mothers of dozens of children. The blessings would enliven the girls, but they used often to complain of these incidents to their mothers. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Let's read one more. Who did not get the chance to read? Shweta Mother, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. Okay, in this Hare Krishna, in this way, the Lord passed his early childhood when he was just 16 years old. He started he started his own
Chatuspati.
own Chatuspati village school conducted by a learned Brahmana. In this school, he would in this school he would simply explain Krishna even in readings of a grammar. Srila Jiva Goswami, in order to please the Lord, later composed a grammar in Sanskrit in which all the rules of grammar were explained uh, with examples that use the holy names of the Lord. This grammar is still current. It is known as a Hari
Harinamamrita Vyakaran.
Nama Vyatra Vyakran and is prescribed in the syllabus of schools in Bengal.
Okay. So these are all beautiful, wonderful pastimes. So Lord started his own school called the Chatuspati. In those days, I think they'll call it like that. So this is a grammar, Sanskrit grammar school. What unique feature about that grammar is whatever he has to teach, he will teach through Krishna's name only. Some examples or whatever. So this is famous as Hari Namamrita Vyakaran. Vyakaran means grammar, which is taught through Krishna's different names, like that. So these are all childhood pastimes of Krishna, which has been recorded in major of these pastimes has been recorded more elaborately in Chaitanya Bhagavat, which is composed by Vrindavan Das Thakur, as we discussed yesterday. But these pastimes you'll find even in the Chaitanya Charitamrita of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. But more details, more elaborate descriptions are there in that other book. Okay, so I think we'll stop with this and we'll read more such stories and pastimes. And then, yeah, tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Thank you.